How's it going, YouTube? The Pelon96 here, and I was gonna show you guys I was actually gonna start cleaning my guns. I went shooting a couple days ago and just hadn't had time to clean them, and I was going to clean the 22 first, and I was thinking, oh, maybe I should show you guys a couple things I added to it. Just a Remington 597, of course, put some studs on it to put sling on it, and I took out the factory rear sight. I left the ramp just in case I ever want to put it back on, but I put a Skinner peep sight on it, the low profile one. It works perfect with the factory front sight. Lines up perfectly, so that was great. And then I put this old 4-power scope I had laying around. It's a cheap one, but I've got see-through rings on it, so you can see. It's kind of hard to tell. Let's see if we can. Kind of hard to do with the camera, and it's kind of dark in there, but you can see right through just underneath the scope, and still use your open sights. And as you see, I got my cleaning stuff out, and I was also thinking, I haven't seen a good disassembly video on one of these. I know when I first got it, I wanted to see how to break it down, and I couldn't find one, so I just dove in and figured it out on my own, but which really isn't too hard. Just a couple things on reassembly that you should know, because I've seen people having problems with it jamming a lot. But all it is when you put the guide rods back in, if you over tighten them, they bow, binding the bolt. So yeah, I figured I'd go ahead and do a disassembly of it. Now, I don't have a tripod, so I'm just going to set the camera down in front of me, and hopefully I'll have it at a good angle, and I can show you guys how to do it. It's pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Hopefully this video doesn't go too long. I'm already 2 minutes in. Oh, great. Oh well. Let's see how long it takes. Alright, so I've got here my rifle, and of course it has been safety checked, no magazine, nothing in it. And to start off, you've got 2 bolts on the bottom, right on the bottom, to pull the stock off. Little CCI trays work good as a little tool kit. And get my hex wrench, just pull those off. Go ahead and pull the stock off, set that to the side, and you've got your action loose. And then it has a smaller wrench here. I don't know if you can see it, but it has a small pin right at the back right here. You just push that through, slides right out, and your trigger group comes right out. Set that to the side for now. And then you've got inside, you got your guide rods with the springs and your bolt right there. And to take that out, what you do, you've got a couple of hex head little flush screws in there, and you just pull those out. You know what, I should have put a paper towel down so they don't roll around. Okay, and then bolt one out, just cycle the bolt and they start to come out. Make sure you hold on to the spring because it'll shoot out. Just pull the guide rod out, pull the spring out. Take out the next one. And again, slide the bolt back a couple times, hold on to the spring and pull the guide rod out. Out comes the spring again. And to pull the bolt out, just pull off the charging handle, and the bolt comes right out the bottom. And that's basically completely disassembled right there. And you can get in there, and it is, I don't know if you can see, but it's pretty dirty. And but I'm not going to be cleaning it on video just because it's going to take too long. I don't want to take too much of your time, and I want to be able to show how to put it back together. So your trigger group, you really shouldn't even try to take apart. The way I clean this, I just use right now I have some of the Smith & Wesson brand, but any bore cleaner, any aerosol fast drying cleaner will do. Just spray down in there, wash it out real good, then make sure you lube all your springs and contact points and stuff, and it should be just fine. One place I do scrub is around the mag well, because that gets pretty dirty. So that I will scrub a little bit with a toothbrush. Just get in there and scrub it down. Make sure you dry it off, and then yeah, just inside, just spray it off. Lube all your springs and stuff, and that's all you really have to do with that. Just leave it off to the side. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and put this back together dirty just to show you guys, but then I'll take it apart and clean it after. I should have cleaned it first and then shown you guys, but oh well. Now to put it back together, you're basically just gonna go in reverse. Take your bolt, drop it right in, and then this can be a little tricky, especially since I've got the scope on it now. Alright, what you want to do is put if you're holding it upside down, you want to start with, you have your guide rods are in, one's higher than the other, so basically you want to start with the top one, which actually ends up at the bottom when you have your receiver upside down. So put that in, a couple inches in, an inch maybe. Take your spring. This is going to be hard to show you guys, but just go ahead and get it started onto the, excuse me, I got kind of a runny nose. You want to start it on the rod, and then with your finger just push it back, compress the spring all the way onto the guide rod so it's completely in. So what I use is my thumb, push back on the spring. Once you've got it all lined up, push your guide rod all the way through so it goes all the way forward. Okay, once it's halfway in, it kind of has a hard time getting into the hole that it slides into on the inside. So what I do is I take a small screwdriver, flathead, and I just pull the bolt back with my thumb and just guide it in with a small screwdriver and push on the back side with my finger so it pushes into the hole that it's supposed to be in. Make sure you pull back on the spring, because sometimes the spring will get caught on the bolt, so just pull back on the spring, and that's actually what just happened to me. Fucking shit. Well, that hasn't happened in a while. Yeah, let me pull that halfway out again. What happens is the bolt fits fairly loosely inside, and I'm just gonna start over. Alright, let's start again. I've got my guide rod in, the spring in. It's a little harder to do on camera for some reason, but so what you're doing is you're just pushing the spring and pressing it completely onto the guide rod and trying to hold it in place so this guide rod goes all the way forward, not let go until it's seated in its spot. There we go. Alright, so that guide rod is all the way in its spot. I don't know if you can see that, but it's inside its hole in the front. And then take one of your little retention screws, put that in loosely, and you actually, when you put these in, the problem that I've seen most, and I actually had myself when I first got this. I didn't know that you needed how this went back together. What I did is I just snugged it down completely. Well, what that does, it doesn't let the guide rod move around, and when the bolt slides back, it binds on that guide rod because it's either too far to one side or the other. So what you do is you tighten it down and go back a quarter turn. Leave it slightly loose so the guide rod is a little loose in there. So in, go back about a quarter turn, and that's set. So same thing with your next one. You know, the next one up, put that in. And usually the second one is a little easier because it's higher up, so you don't have to get your finger down, your hands so far down in the receiver. I know it's a little hard to see what I'm doing, but it's a little hard to do it so that you can see without a tripod, since I don't have one. Again, just same thing, push it forward, hold on to your spring, pull the bolt back, then guide it in to the hole. There we go. So we've got both our guide rods in there, springs and all. Put our screw in. I guess people call these grub screws or something like that, I've heard people say, but it's just a small screw. And then again, same thing, tighten it down, back off about a quarter turn, and it's set. So that's good. Just push our charging handle back in, and it's all set. And that's how you disassemble and reassemble the receiver. And then after that, you just put your trigger assembly in, put your pin through the hole in the back, back onto the stock, put your two screws in on the bottom, and you're set. Ready to go. And I don't like to dry fire, but I'll go ahead and do it once. Functions perfectly. So that is the, wow, I don't like not showing my face, but there we go. Let me move this back. And that's the disassembly and reassembly of a Remington 597. Hope this helps, and you guys have a great day.